Now it's 3. There will be an election in September. This is what's just into the KRON 4 newsroom. A date has been set for the recall election against Governor Gavin Newsom. And an investigation is underway in the North Bay right now after a woman and a young child were shot last night. They're in critical condition right now. The cost of filling up just went up. Gas taxes are up, and so are the tolls for one Bay Area bridge. We'll take a look at what is more expensive today, Thursday, July 1st.
From the Bay Area's local news station, we begin now with breaking news.
That breaking news just into the KRON 4 newsroom. California Governor Gavin Newsom's recall election date has been set. It will happen in September. For the very latest, we'll go right now to our Capitol Bureau reporter, Ashley Zavala. She's live for us now in Sacramento. Ashley, been waiting now to hear this date. It's been set. We know it's happening. What's the latest?
Yeah, Justine, first and foremost, this election will be September 14th of this year. This just announced by the Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis. This announcement coming just hours after the Secretary of State certified that this election could happen. This is after a whole set of domino effects and a recall process that has been happening now for the last few months. Now, Eleni Kounalakis did release a statement this afternoon saying, quote, "Although the window of time from which I could select a date was narrow, I believe we have chosen a fair and reasonable date for this election to take place. It has always been my intention to choose an election date that gives election officials and the public ample time to ensure a smooth election with broad participation. Conducting this election on September 14th fulfills my statutory requirements and provides the time needed for officials to prepare and inform voters." Now, September 14th specifically was actually the date that local elections officials had pointed out as the earliest possible date for them to logistically be able to handle this election, noting that ballots have to be printed, candidates have to be selected and put into that ballot, and also polling places need to be set up, and the whole logistics of this. There's still a lot of questions as to whether COVID-19 related protocols will be involved in this election at all, which was one concern for local elections officials. But again, this date is set for September 14th of this year. Now, this date was announced after the Department of Finance today finished up their finalization of the cost of this election, which is set at $276 million total. A chunk of that is going to the Secretary of State's office, and then another chunk to counties themselves to handle the election. But again, September 14th, we now know 2021 is officially an election year in California. Reporting live here at the state capitol, Ashley Zavala, KRON 4 News.
Ashley, quickly here, since September 14th is the earliest date that could have been selected, and it was selected by the Lieutenant Governor, who has the advantage here with the election happening on that date? Governor Gavin Newsom to keep his job, or his opponents who are trying to kick him out?
Well, it was Democrats who really pushed for this September 14th date, or as early as possible, really. We had heard from lawmakers who said that this election should happen as early as August to favor the governor, because right now, with COVID-19 suppressed overall and with the state reopened, that this would put Governor Gavin Newsom in a favorable position. But Republicans and proponents and supporters of this recall would tell you they'll have it at any time, that even still a couple months out or a month and a half out will still give the governor enough time to have to deal with potential wildfires that could spark, energy problems that could happen. But it is worth noting that this date set is in part because of action the legislature took earlier this week. On Monday, they passed a law that allowed them to skip a 30-day review process of this whole cost of the election. So that allowed for the domino effect to happen today and for this election to happen much sooner, possibly, than had that rule stayed in place.
Ashley Zavala live for us in Sacramento. I know you'll be working more on this story, and you'll have more tonight during KRON 4 News at 5 o'clock. Thank you so much.